The New York Times had their moment with it. You know, I mean, it was such a gigantic. Well, I think about this all the time. It's Charleston, West Virginia, right? What does someone in New York City care about what happens in Charleston? Maybe not much. But if something like this would have happened in New York City, the entire world would have been paying attention to it.
I wonder if anyone is really looking in the communities further south of Charleston and the damage that it's done to the more rural areas of West Virginia. You know, we take for granted in Charleston how urbanized we are and the benefits that come from, you know, our rail infrastructure and our highway infrastructure and our immediate access to the outside world. But what of these communities in Boone County and Lincoln County and Logan County that their life was entirely disrupted for much longer than those of us in the urban areas, and otherwise radio silence out of it. You know, what happened down there, guys? Was it a non-issue? Was it a thing that was so easily swept under the rug, or was it just another acceptance of the tough condition of life in rural West Virginia?
No, this was not handled well, in my opinion, at multiple levels. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact we were in uncharted territory. Some of it, I think, of our own making, some of it not. This was a chemical that we knew about and had been a part of the coal industry and the cleaning process for a number of years, but had not been studied very extensively. So we didn't have a lot of information from the scientific community to start with to know, you know, what are the effects? What are the potential hazards? What should we be telling people? And not just as the media, but what should the Department of Public Health be telling people? What should the water company be telling people?
To put it very bluntly, the chemical leak into the water system in Charleston was an embarrassment for the entire state that we will feel for years and years to come. We talk so much in West Virginia about wanting to attract outside people to come in and locate here. And a fundamental aspect of that is being able to say that our critical systems are modern and reliable. And what that event has done in a very public manner is said to the rest of the world, no, West Virginia does not have a reliable water system. Most of our major population centers are built on top of industrial era water and sewer systems, combined overflow. In some places there's still terracotta pipes. There are rumors out there that in places, even in Charleston, there are still wooden pipes carrying this water to people. And how can you expect someone to come in and spend billions of dollars on a manufacturing facility or any other high-end business to look at that and say, you know, I really have faith in this system. I really believe that these pipes are going to be able to support population growth and density for the next 50 years for my business?
I think what I would say is I think people need to advocate for their community and for safety in their community, no matter what it is. But when it comes to something as essential as water, know what's going into the water. Know how your water is processed. Understand what potential hazards there are along the waterways which feed your particular system. People didn't know. And they couldn't or didn't feel like they could trust those in positions of authority to tell them accurately what those things were. You know, we learned through this process that there really hadn't been an oversight process for above ground storage facilities in West Virginia. And the tank bill, which turned into a law, is a step in the right direction to ensuring that there is proper oversight and continued maintenance of those facilities that hopefully, you know, will keep something like this from happening again. But I think people really need to advocate for their own safety and for their community's safety and be informed and hold people accountable. That's media's job. Media is supposed to hold people, particularly government and public officials, accountable. And this was an example where we were able to shine a spotlight through this series of events on big holes in the system. Now it's the public's turn to respond to that and demand action.